where I'm living, there is no electricity. Imagine the place that you don't have lights, you are just still remain in that darkness in the night. It's only your phone, you use it for the torchlight, no light in the house.
Lagos is Africa's biggest city with about 25 million people. People get outages that can last 12 hours a day.
For sometimes we can stay for 2 weeks no supply. Sometimes 3 weeks, they can only bring the light 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
The price of petrol, of the main source of fuel, increased almost threefold. And so now people and increasingly are thinking about alternatives. And that's where the solar industry is hoping it can tap an opportunity. As a result of the grid issues in Lagos and Nigeria, most people rely on generators. Even in markets, you would hear just the noises of generators. It's really loud, there are engines running. You would also smell often the smell of fuel. It's unusual in that a lot of people provide their own power because the city only gets about 1,000 megawatts of energy compared to a similar city like Shanghai that has about 30 times more power for the same amount of people. For years, fueling a generator has been very cheap. Nigeria is an oil-rich country that's had fuel subsidies in place for a very long time. But on the 29th of May, 2023, things would all change. That was the inauguration day of President Bola Tinubu as the new president of Nigeria.
The first subsidy is gone.
Immediately, the price of fuel changed. For the average Nigerian, it had a very direct impact. From one day to the next, the cost of commuting to the office was more expensive. It also affected generator usage. Solar entrepreneurs adjusted their targets after the fuel subsidy because they were finally more competitive with fossil fuel energy. We spoke to a company called Energy, which actually is now bringing a new product into the market that will address mass market customers where it had previously provided solar solutions to high-income earners.
These are what Energy blue boxes look like. This is the 5.4 kilowatt hour battery system. It's a lot more affordable, but we've seen a lot more of such customers that after they've tried the system to run their business and they've seen savings, some of them come back for a full system. Petrol had been friendlier to their pockets than solar. That's why, we saw a lot of Nigerians not really pushing to switch. But now, given that fuel pricing, it's close to being cost reflective.
Bloomberg New Energy Finance, where analysts there are projecting that solar energy output would increase from 1 gigawatts for Nigeria in 2022 to 21.5 gigawatts by 2030, which is about 4 times more than they had previously estimated would be reached by that year.
The reality is a lot more Nigerians could not afford to even power their businesses and homes with the unsubsidized gasoline. So that then opened up huge market opportunity for the solar space. The large population, they're not necessarily looking to power air conditioner even in their business. They just want to be able to power light, fan, and of course charge their phone and be able to call their customers.
Whenever my friends come to my house and they see that I use solar, they are like, wow, that they need to have it. They wish they could have it in their home also.
The need for energy really lends itself to a solar revolution. But people I spoke to were skeptical and said, there's some obstacles still. People are not necessarily thinking about the ecological footprint, they're thinking about their savings and securing access to energy. Solar is quite expensive upfront, and the revenues in Nigeria are not that strong for most people, and so that's a big obstacle to solar currently.
I don't have solar because I will not be able to buy. It's so expensive as I heard about it. Maybe if they bring down the price to our own that we can buy, for our own size that we can buy.
There's not enough financing solutions. Most financing won't go beyond 3 years, which still adds up to quite an expensive expense for solar, even if on the long term it's still cheaper than fossil fuel energy. Nigerians are quite impatient with the government in that they don't really expect much. So basically when they're looking at solutions, they tend to look at the things they can do by themselves. And that's why the solar home systems is what people are really zeroing in on. So we're probably going to be in a situation where solar is also going to have different products according to what you can afford. If the solar boom actually takes off in Nigeria, it could be the first example of distributed off-grid solar at a grid scale level, according to analysts that we've spoken to. That would make Nigeria unique in that sense, in that in the same way that it currently is now a generator country, it could be a solar country, but not from solar grids, but rather from off-grid solar solutions in people's homes.
If we really want to solve and help Nigeria to transition from the dirty fuel and now even very expensive fuel to clean energy, solar, we needed to react to the market, to bring to the market a product that millions of Nigerians will be able to afford and will solve their moderate energy need.
Currently, generators in Lagos account for 15,000 megawatts of power. If solar does just a fraction of that, it would still be a huge amount of solar off-grid. And that is unique and something that potentially other countries could learn from. A lot of countries are facing energy poverty or energy unreliability issues.